Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Charmaine and today I want to walk you through how I created this Japanesey fox spirit inspired creative makeup look created basically with lots of red and black eyeliner and not much direction from the start if I'm being honest, just pure creative expression. And here enters me, looking really good with my newly done orange hair, which as you can see I am really very happy about. If you're wondering, I am doing this video voiceover style because I knew that I needed 100% focus if I am to do an artistic look successfully. And here I am waving to you and zooming you in, signaling that we are ready to start the process. So, to kick it all off, this is the red eyeliner that I'll be using for this look. It is the Colourpop Creme Gel Liner in Venus. So I am lifting up my eyebrows as high as I can so that I keep my lids taut and I can see the shadows from my orbital bone cast on my skin. And with that as a guide, I am sketching out a relatively thin line with the liner into my outer crease area, slowly building up the pigment as I go. With my fingernail, I am dragging the creme gel liner outwards to create a tapered effect to both the inner and outer points of the line. That's how I create a fluid and sharp shape like this, almost like a red ribbon. Moving on, I am trying to create a mini version of that line in the inner part of my crease. You will see that I repeat the same process throughout, sketching out a rough line, building up the pigment, and then dragging the line out to taper. As the red pencil liner has a standard width to it, and also because it is quite blunt, I find it really challenging to create a thinner line on the inner crease area, which I think will look a lot better considering how small the area in the corner of my eye is, but we work with what we got. Okay, moving along. Once I am done with the inner corner, I moved on to adding a similar line, but shorter, above the first line I created. Because the length of the line will ultimately be extended with my nail tapering method, that's right, I coined it, I am only drawing in a much stubbier and shorter line to facilitate that blending method. And honestly, this line was probably the easiest line to create of all the lines and dots in this look. Then I moved on to mirroring the same thing in my inner corner and this look looks so good at this point actually. It's so symmetrical and interesting and like Japanese art, it kind of looks a little like a red wave or like some cloud pattern or something like that. Do you know what I mean? But I thought that something was missing, so I went ahead and penciled in a circle, or rather a small dot. But as you can obviously see, the circle thing didn't really happen. The creme gel liner was way too skippy and blunt for the job, and now I have to improvise by creating another line. Alrighty, next step. I attempted to create another point in that inner upper crease area to bring some Japanese flair to the look, but the same thing happened with the creme gel liners, so now I am left with a blob of red that looks neither like a circle nor a line. So I tried to extend the shape out to see if I could fix things by creating, well, I guessed it, another line. But whoops, the last stroke really took things too far. Here you see me trying to fix things with some blending, but it just isn't working out. So we are just going to remove it. It's time to Ctrl Z this thing. Alright, so no tips on removing. I'm just going straight in with a tissue to wipe that botched line away, along with all the foundation, the concealer, the powder underneath. Oh, and also some of the brows and my nose contour as well. But never fear, because concealer is here. With the concealer, this is a pretty fresh one from Colourpop. But it really doesn't matter which one you use, as long as it matches the skin around the wiped away area. I'm just blending it all in carefully without destroying all the other line work I did previously. Oh, I guess the tip would be to go in with minimal product and build from there. Don't be too greedy and impatient, because if you apply too much at one go, you might risk actually messing up the red lines underneath. And even though I was really careful, some of the red opacity got rubbed off in the removal process, so I'm going back in with the liner to top up the pigment and reblend everything out to how they're supposed to look like before. While I was fixing things, I got inspired to add something to the center of my lids so that I can create some movement and a little bit of surprise when I move and blink my eyes. So, as I keep my gaze steadily looking into the mirror, I drew in 2 semicircles of red to the upper lids and the lower lash line, above and below the pupils, like so. It's a little hard to pencil in that eye bag area without using my other hand to pull the skin taut, but that's a bad habit, so I'm not going to do it. And now we're back to fixing my makeup, and since we have a little bit of time right now, I just want to say that while creating something like this, it is totally okay to just trial and error your way through. That's how you work that creativity muscle. Just remain patient and never stop practicing. You'll improve ultimately. And now I'm just going back into the inner corner, trying to point that inner corner a bit more, which is a look that I actually really enjoy a lot even on normal makeup days. With this eye, I will be creating similar lines on the inner and outer crease area, as well as that little semicircle on the center of the lid, which you will later see that I've decided to make bigger on both eyes. By this point, you can probably tell that I'm making zero effort at trying to make this side match the other side. 2 reasons. It is almost impossible to make them match without sitting there correcting my mistakes for hours. And secondly, what is the fun of symmetry when I can explore different combinations of lines and dots to create a beautiful and inspiring eye look? Well, the key to still remain able to create a balanced and coherent look is to make sure that the shape of the eyes created by the lines are similar. So in my case, if I'm creating an elongated cat or a fox, eye shape on one eye, whatever I do on the other eye will have to form a similar shape and proportions. So here you can see that I'm drawing in a line below the first crease line that I made. But if you can see, I'm still trying to draw that line within the imaginary boundaries of the cat eye shape that I have created on the other eye. And here, I am reattempting what I have failed to achieve on the other side with more success due to the extra space I have from the absence of a second and higher crease line. So now that we're roughly done with the main eye shape part of the look, I am now trying to incorporate some more dots into the overall look to break up the monotony caused by an excess of lines. So there's now one on my right brow bone, and now I'm dotting a slightly larger one below my left eye. Oops, my liner broke on me, and now I'm trying to decide if it is wise to add some more dots to the look without looking completely nuts. I have decided to pen in some red ovals into the front parts of my brows, which is something that reminds me of those tiny brows that the Japanese in ancient or older times used to rock a lot. I'm not very familiar with the historical Japanese art and culture beyond a little more exposure to them in my brief studies in school, so don't kill me if I'm doing something wrong, please. And then, I decide that the extra dot or circle under my left eye was a little too clown-like to look nice, so I'm removing that with a tissue paper as well. And then I'm going to fix that hole with a little bit of that same concealer so that we can now pretend that the dot was never invited to the party all along. Okay, so now it's finally time for some black eyeliner. I'm using my all-time favorite D-Up Silky Liquid Eyeliner in black here. And we're just going to line the eyes and create a wing that is longer and bolder than usual to properly ground the primarily red eye look. Not to mention the fact that red, white and black are usually found together in Japanese art and culture. Also, I would like to reiterate that I am doing this completely freestyle without proper research or reference, so my facts may not be facts at all, just so you know. So you guys don't come after my head. I'm pretty sure I look like a fox spirit though. And here I am making my inner corner point way bolder by dragging a line back to connect the lower inner lash line with the inner corner to form an arrow of sorts. On this side of the eye, you can see that I'm drawing my liner over the red lines I created. This is okay because the wing liner will be the main thing that will ensure balance in our look, so that needs to be well drawn and intentional. Moving on, I will be using this D-Up Super Fit Gel Liner in black to darken my lash line and tight line so the bold black wings become seamlessly black and bold. The trick to doing this step with ease is to look down into your mirror so that your upper waterline becomes a lot more accessible. Using a very creamy pencil or gel liner really helps as well. Then, to finish off the eyes, we definitely need some lashes for this bold and dramatic look. Here, I am trying to decide between 2 different pairs of lashes. One that is thicker and longer on the outside and another that is fluffy pointier and spikier throughout. Both have their merits, but I went with the former because I thought that the shape of this lash would help emphasize and enhance the winged out cat eye shape of this look perfectly. Time for some lips. I've decided to skip blush because there's enough reds on the face as is, and also because I wanted to look the part by remaining as pale as I could. Instead, I'm just going to apply some red liquid lipstick to the center of the lips. Kinda geisha-like, I think, but in a wider area to keep it sort of modern and editorial, if you know what I mean. I'm just trying to go for the whole 9 yards, you know. And with an extra coat over the top to intensify the color after all the blotting and the blending and the pressing of lips together, I am just briefly going over the lash bands with some black liquid eyeliner to hide them, and with that, voila, we are done! So, what do you think about this look? I think it turned out really amazing, if I may say so myself. I couldn't stop taking photos of this look afterwards. Of course, there are still so many things that I can do to improve on this look. I am actually thinking of creating a version 2 or something sometime in the future. Let me know if that's something you'll be interested in. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video as much as I have enjoyed making it. If you have not yet, go check out my Instagram page at ChermaineCCW. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And with that, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to its end. I will see you in my next one. Bye bye!